This production covers the only race meeting held outside the USA. Although there are a number of classes, it is the World War II warbirds that steal the show. Pylon racing, the world's fastest motorsport. This event called Sky Race was held in Tasmania, and the material has only recently been uncovered, and the significance of the event has also just been rediscovered. Sky Race was in fact a turning point for one of the most revered pilots the world has known. Bob Hoover, the greatest test pilot of all time.
I've got to tell you that this event is one of the most special events in the world. You have some of the most competitive racing in the world here in Tasmania.
Pylon racing is the most competitive because it's split second. Now, if you leave something a split second too late, you'll lose.
Pylon racing is a straightforward affair. A number of pylons are placed in the ground several miles apart, often in a triangular pattern. The pilots simply speed around the course as fast as possible. First across the line is the winner, and second place is considered first loser.
No one like coming second.
The strike master being thrown in, that's a first in the world. Propellers versus jets, so close.
We had the jet in with us, and some of the passing made it difficult. I mean, on a clean race where Rob and I could have picked our own line, it would have been different.
I suppose it's like car racing or any sort of racing. It's exciting. The speed is exciting. Here you're not allowed to do that normally in an aeroplane, fly low and very fast, so here we're allowed to do it, not only allowed to do it, encouraged to do it. So it's a great thing, and this is the only one in Australia. I think it's the only one outside the United States.
Fabulous professional racing, professional pilots, clean and fast, and that's the way it's supposed to be.
We got good, competent pilots that I'm very comfortable to fly with, the like of Don Kendall or Steve Deed.
I think the big thing about being close to the ground on a warm day is that you get bashed around like hell in the turbulence, you know, you shake.
Aviation doesn't require strength or speed or physical attribute that men might have over a woman, and certainly, yeah, we can concentrate, we can fly just as well as they can, and they acknowledge it.
We think it's terrific, and Bill Waterton, who's one of our other Harvard guys, who's 73, he was one of the youngest B-24 captains in World War II, and he had a long career with the airlines, and he still flies races with us now, and it gives youngsters like me of 56 hope for the future. We think it's great.
Yeah, I think it's the fastest motorsport in the world, as they tell you.
That's right.
Not much margin for error.
No, but you make sure you don't make errors. It sort of looked like you touched off a ramjet engine in the back there.
No, there was nothing left. It was nailed hard to the firewall all the way.
$40,000, is that important to you?
Not at all. They won't pay. If you were to blow either one of these two engines, $40,000 wouldn't cover the transport cost of getting it out and getting another one back in, let alone the cost of the engine.
So Guido, with that problem, he has been advised to withdraw, and that is what he's done. He's pulled to the infield, it seems. It seems like Guido was pulled to the infield.
The racing is highly competitive, and these irreplaceable warbirds are let loose with no holds barred. There is little respect for the enormous cost of rebuilding blown engines.
And it looked to me like he was blowing a lot of oil out the right-hand side of the airplane. Oh, look at the front wheel.
What happened?
Well, it started to run rough, and I had little option but to call Mayday. When I landed, I had no oil. I had no oil pressure, no oil, and everything was in the red. I don't think that I would have been able to keep the aeroplane in the air for more than another 10 seconds or so.
Each pilot is an interesting individual, and the interviews let the viewer get to understand these characters. The one thing they have in common is that they're all successful business people, and they carry their drive for succeeding into the cockpit of their war machines, with the intent to steal first place.
What does this plane cost you, Rob?
Oh, I've never added it up, to be perfectly honest, but it's a lot of money. A lot of money.
So can you make any money out of this?
Absolutely not. I don't think so. No, not in aviation. I think it's something you do for love, and you try to tell yourself lies so that you kid yourself you're paying the expenses. But no, it's you never catch up with this.
You've got no money left, Rob?
No comment.
Well, the prize money helps, but no, it's everybody wants to win no matter what. Yes.
How badly do you need the $40,000?
Oh, real bad. It costs a lot of money to come here. No, it's serious. I mean, we take the money seriously. It's no, we can't operate these aircraft without money. I mean, they cost a lot of money to run.
But it won't even pay costs, will it?
Probably not, but it goes a long way towards it.
Chuck Yeager probably summed it up better than anyone else. Chuck Yeager said of Bob Hoover, and said it on many occasions, that Bob Hoover is the world's greatest living pilot.
It would be the first time Bob had flown for a number of years, as the American aviation authorities had cancelled his licence on the issue of a health clearance. This created a huge controversy throughout the US of A. In Australia, Bob passed his medical and flying examination, and in fact stated, "Australia has restored my dignity."
We all hate him, he's just so damn good. I mean, I've been doing airshow aerobatics for 15 or 20 years, and you know, if I do it for another 30 years, I'll never be within cooey of him, and most of us think that way.
He's one of those people who are in the Hall of Fame with Lindbergh and Armstrong. I mean, he is an absolute legend.
Gaining his Australian licence was one small but important part of Bob's historic win against the American aviation authorities to have his licence restored. During Sky Race, much time was spent with Bob Hoover, both in the plane doing his famous engine-free loops and barrel rolls, and on the ground mixing with his fans.
You can hear the wind noise on the airplane, but the engines are completely shut down.
The interviews, which have never been aired, are a rare glimpse into the character and the controversy of Bob Hoover.
Yeah, but you must have lost a lot of friends, though.
I did. I've lost more than I can even think of counting up. At Edwards Air Force Base, there's a street named after a pilot who was killed in flight test work, and there are a lot of streets on Edwards Air Force Base.
In early 1951, the test pilot school of the fledgling Air Force was moved from Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, Ohio, to Edwards. The job of the test pilot was becoming more complex and demanding.
I saved the airplane, and so we redesigned it and went on to build 6,000 more. And that's what a test pilot gets paid for, to save it and find out what went wrong and get it corrected.
The work of the accredited test pilot is not just a simple job of flying. The men selected for this work must meet certain specifications for an engineering background and adequate flying record. Picked men go through a rigid period of training and apprenticeship before reaching the top test pilot status.
I thought, well, 380 is not too bad because they'd incrementally gone up there. Well, he was leveled off at 15,000, hit 380. The airplane broke up. One wing came off and the tail, and he was incapacitated. I'm sure that he was unconscious and never knew what hit him, but the whole airplane came apart.
No textbooks have ever been published on flight test training, and success in this field depends largely upon the individual. The knowledge the pilot absorbs will be gained the hard way.
I was a replacement for one of the experimental pilots that was killed, and I sat there and watched him go around the table, keeping 6 pilots on all the time, and I've been a survivor.
Actually, when we were rebuilding this, we found some 9mm ammunition and also some frag from ack fire, in different parts of the aircraft.
So, Mike, where did you get the plane?
I bought it from a gentleman called Jim Mott in California. Jim's a Sioux Indian, and he owned it for 20 years. He bought it from the US Navy, who bought it from the US government in 1943 as a pilot trainer. And Jim operated it as a racer at Reno for 20-odd years.
They were fitted with guns, rockets, bombs, and all that sort of military material. And they went to Laos, what they called the secret war, because the American people weren't told there were any American aircraft there. In fact, they were told there were no American aircraft in Laos or no American troops. And these were operated by Air America and the CIA, or the Central Intelligence Agency.
They perform better, they're built to handle better. They're certainly not built for economy or carriage of passengers or anything like that. They're built to fight, and they feel great to fly.
It's fuel injected, 2-stage supercharged, you know. The thing's got a engine capacity of 54 litres, if you like. You know, each cylinder is 3 litre, which is more than the average family motor car.